Ladies and gentlemen, pilots and patriots, welcome to the skies where history roars to life, where piston meets jets, where heroes are remembered and legends are reborn. This is Wings Over War Thunder. From the skies of Pearl Harbor and war-torn Europe to dogfights of Korea and Vietnam, to the stealth, speed, and precision of the modern age. Today, we take you on a journey through time, a digital airshow like no other, where every aircraft tells a story and every maneuver honors the real-world aces who came before. Powered by the digital skies of War Thunder, flown by skilled virtual pilots across the globe, this is not just a show. It's a tribute, it's a celebration, it's a battlefield of history and hardware, soaring above politics, borders, and generations. So buckle in, set your trim, check your six, because from this moment forward, the sky is alive. Welcome to Wings Over War Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, aviation fans of all ages, get ready to witness one of the most iconic fighter jets in modern history. Coming in hot from your left, slicing through the skies with speed and style, it's the legendary F-16 Fighting Falcon, also known as the Viper. Watch it climb. That's a single-engine jet hauling itself straight up into the sky, thanks to a powerful General Electric F110 GE129 turbofan engine, pumping out 29,500 pounds of thrust at full afterburner. And yes, that's more than the jet weighs. It can go from 0 to 15,000 feet in a blink of an eye. Now that sound, that's the voice of freedom. The F-16 entered service back in 1970, and here we are, over 4 decades later, and it's still going strong. It was originally designed as a lightweight, low-cost dogfighter, but what they got was a multi-role beast that could do just about everything. Here it comes again, showing off the incredible agility. Did you know the F-16 was the first production fighter to use a fly-by-wire system? That means there are no mechanical linkages, just computers translating the pilot's inputs into razor-sharp movements. In fact, the jet is aerodynamically unstable on purpose. That instability, combined with computers, makes it incredibly nimble. Coming in slow now. This is called a high alpha pass. Alpha means angle of attack, and this is where the pilot shows just how slow and controlled the Viper can be. It looks like it's hovering, but make no mistake, it's still flying on the edge of aerodynamic performance. Here's a fun fact. Over 4,600 F-16s have been built, and they've flown with over 25 countries. From the USA to Belgium, Israel to Indonesia, the Viper has been one of the most widely used fighter jets in the world. And now to wrap it up, watch this final salute. Straight vertical, afterburner lit, and roaring into the sky. This is what air power looks like. That was the mighty F-16C Viper. A marvel of engineering, a testament to American aerospace innovation, and a jet that's earned its place in history. Let's hear it for the pilot and the crew, and the thousands of men and women who've flown, maintained, and built this incredible machine. From the cutting edge of modern air power, we now take you back in time. The year is 1941. The world is at war, and a sleepy Sunday morning in Hawaii is about to change history forever. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for an unforgettable living history experience. This is Tora Tora Tora, a powerful reenactment of the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Watch closely now. Those aircraft are authentic, painstaking virtual models of the Japanese Zero and Kate bomber. These aren't just planes, they're flying history books put into the game of War Thunder by Gaijin with their dedication to preserving our past. And here comes the diving vow. You're seeing a live reenactment of the moment that pulled the United States into World War II. On December 7th, 1941, just before 8 a.m., over 350 Japanese aircraft launched from carriers and attacked the U.S. Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor. Now watch as two P-40 Warhawks scramble to the skies, trying anything they can to deter the Japanese forces. As we watch these historic aircraft fly by, let us also remember the human cost. 2,403 Americans lost their lives that day. Sailors, soldiers, airmen, and civilians. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a tragedy, but it also marked the beginning of an era of resilience, courage, and the ultimate victory. This demonstration is not a celebration of war, but a solemn tribute, a way to honor our past, to remember our heroes, and to educate future generations. Let's take a moment to thank the real-life Tora 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 crew, the Commemorative Air Force, and all the veterans, living and past, who served in World War II and beyond, because without them, we would not stand here today, free to look to the skies. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Tora Tora Tora, a breathtaking reminder of history in motion. If that moved you, be sure to visit the reenactors, veterans, and aircraft on static displays after the show. Shake a hand, ask a question, and keep the story alive. And now, stick around because the skies aren't done speaking yet. More thunder, more history, and more heart-stopping action still to come right here at Wings Over War Thunder. From the echoes of Pearl Harbor to the dawn of the Allied retaliation, the skies of War Thunder now open to honor the heroes who turned the tide. Get ready to witness something rare. Even in the world of War Thunder, a formation steeped in history, built in unity, and flown with precision. Leading the formation is the unmistakable silhouette of the Avro Lancaster, Britain's iron giant of the night skies. Designed to carry the largest payloads of World War II, the Lancaster flew deep into occupied Europe under cover of darkness, striking targets with deadly precision. In War Thunder, it's a true heavy hitter, slow to turn, but an absolute flying delivery truck in the air. Off her wing, the American powerhouse, Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, with multiple defensive gunner positions and rugged armor, so the name it was given is no lie. In real life, these bombers brought the battle to the heart of Nazi Germany, flown by thousands of young Americans braving brutal skies and endless flak. Now moving in, sleek, fast, and graceful, the Supermarine Spitfire, a favorite among War Thunder players for its tight turns and rapid climb. The Spitfire isn't just a beautiful aircraft, it's a legend. This was the fighter that held the Luftwaffe over Britain and inspired a nation with its resilience and speed. And last but not least, here comes the P-51D Mustang, In War Thunder, it's the perfect balance of speed, firepower, and range, and historically, it was the game changer. Once the Mustang could escort bombers all the way to Berlin and back, the skies began to belong to the Allies. 2 nations, 4 aircraft, 1 purpose. This is not just a formation, it's a flying tribute to the cooperation across oceans and cultures. In War Thunder, we fly them for fun, but in the 1940s, these aircraft were flown by young men who risked it all. For each other, and for freedom. Together, they remind us, in War Thunder, we don't just play. We preserve history, honor the past, and carry their legacy into every mission we fly. Let's hear it for the Allied Victory Formation, flown today by some of War Thunder's finest pilots. Salute their skill, respect the legacy, and remember the aircraft's sacrifice. The Second World War ended. The world hoped for peace. But by 1950, the skies were once again filled with fire. Now, at Wings Over War Thunder, we bring you a tribute for the first jet versus jet war in history. A battle fought in the thin, freezing air over the Korean Peninsula. This is the Korean War Jet Tribute Formation. Coming in now, slicing through the sky with grace and speed, on the wings of history, are 2 North American F-86 Sabers and the pioneering Lockheed F-80 Shooting Star. Leading the aircraft, the F-86 Saber, the pride of American jet aviation. With its swept wing design and stunning maneuverability, the Saber dominated the skies over MiG Alley, trading blows with the Soviet-built MiG-15 in the first true dogfights of the jet age. And now, trailing the formation is the F-80 Shooting Star, America's first operational jet fighter. Though designed during World War II, the F-80 made its combat debut in Korea, scoring the first ever jet-on-jet kill in history against a MiG-15. As you see over the skies of War Thunder, it's a beautifully balanced machine, sleek, smooth, and deadly in the right hands. This formation represents not just raw speed, but a turning point in aerial warfare. The Korean War wasn't just a fight between ideologies. It was the moment where the skies transitioned from piston power to jet propulsion, where close-in, turn-and-burn tactics met radar, rockets, and afterburners. These aircraft were flown by legends. Names like James Jabara, America's first jet ace, and Joseph McConnell, who scored 16 kills in an F-86. In these skies right now, these pilots continue that legacy, mastering the energy fighting, boom and zoom, and high-speed vertical combat of these aircraft. And just like in the real skies over Korea, these jets demand precision, skill, and nerves of steel. Even in the sky right now, the pilots flying the F-80 and the F-86s means channeling the spirit of those who led the military aviation complex into a new era. Let's hear it for the Korean War tribute flight, the Shooting Star and the Sabers. 2 icons that remind us how quickly technology can change, but how courage, teamwork, and sacrifice remain timeless. These virtual pilots fly these planes with skill and precision, saluting the pioneers of jet combat.
Good morning, Vietnam!
From the frozen skies of Korea to the dense jungles and high altitudes of Southeast Asia, the next chapter in air combat history would be unlike anything the world had seen. It was the age of missiles, of radar, of lightning-fast kills, and supersonic escapes. Welcome to the Vietnam War Aerial Tribute, a clash between Cold War rivals at the speed of sound. First on the scene, fast, heavy, and powerful, the McDonnell Douglas F4E Phantom II, with a top speed over Mach 2 and a payload that could carry nearly every weapon in the U.S. arsenal. The Phantom was the backbone of American air power during the Vietnam War. This multi-role legend, fast, brutal, and feared in both air-to-air and air-to-ground roles, was a sight for sore eyes for Vietnam soldiers in the dense jungles. But now, emerging like a ghost from the haze, comes the MiG-21. Small, agile, and deadly. This Soviet-designed fighter was the spearhead of North Vietnamese air defense. Pilots used speed, stealth, and surprise to take on technologically superior American jets, and they did it with lethal results. The Vietnam War changed everything. No longer was the fight decided by who could turn tighter or climb higher. It became about radar locks, missile warnings, and reaction times measured in seconds. The Phantom brought raw firepower and a two-man crew, pilot and a radar intercept officer, working in tandem to spot and eliminate targets at long range. The MiG-21 brought speed, simplicity, and a smaller radar cross-section, often ambushing F-4s in a hit-and-run strikes before disappearing into the clouds or the cover of low terrain. In Wings Over War Thunder, these two aircraft are flown by some of the best virtual pilots we have, tailing each other in high G turns and low altitude high-speed passes. This performance honors the brave pilots on both sides, those who flew into the unknown, often without warning, and faced each other in one of the most dangerous skies in aviation history. From the Top Gun dogfights of Phantom squadrons to the stealthy strikes of MiG pilots out of Phuoc Yin, this is the sound of the Cold War heating up. This is the Phantom. This is the MiG. This was the Vietnam War in the skies at Wings Over War Thunder. From the jungles of Vietnam to the bleeding edge of the Cold War technology comes the machine so fast, so sleek, so extreme, it was known by one name across the globe: the Starfighter. Here it is, the Lockheed F-104, nicknamed the Missile with a Man in It, with a top speed of over Mach 2, a climb rate that could reach the stratosphere, and a wing so small it looked like an afterthought. The F-104 wasn't just fast, it was furious. And for some reason, all about family. Designed by Lockheed's legendary Skunk Works, the F-104 was built for interception. A single-seat, single-engine rocket with stubby wings and a titanium heart. Over the skies in Wings Over War Thunder, this jet is a favorite for daring solo pilots, those who embrace the thrill of high-speed passes, blistering altitude, and risky energy fighting. This is not a dogfighter. This is a bullet with a cockpit, and it doesn't turn, it slices through the sky. The F-104 broke altitude and speed records in the 1950s. It served with over a dozen NATO countries, becoming a Cold War icon, but it earned reputation too. Pilots had to respect it or it would bite back. Fast landings, narrow flight envelope, and an unforgiving control surface made the Starfighter both a dream and a nightmare. This is not just a flight, this is a statement about speed, about daring, and about pushing the very limits of what a human can fly. Let's hear it for the F-104 Starfighter. A machine that blurred the line between fighter jet and science fiction. Flown today in Wings Over War Thunder by pilots who dare to ride the edge of physics and honor those who flew it for real across the skies from Europe to Southeast Asia. A solo act, a speed demon, a legend. This is the Starfighter. From the blistering speed of the Cold War to a new battlefield, where the enemy can't see you coming. This next aircraft changed everything, and it didn't rely on speed, it didn't dogfight, it disappeared. Now entering the virtual airspace in tight escort formation, the F-117 Nighthawk, escorted by the F-16C Fighting Falcon. The F-117 wasn't just a jet, it was a revolution. The world's first operational stealth aircraft, it was built to be undetectable by radar. Its faceted shape, special coating, and classified technologies allowed it to fly into the most dangerous airspace on Earth and leave without a trace. The F-117 is a true ghost, designed not for speed, but for precision. With guided bombs and stealth systems, it represents the quiet power of surgical airstrikes and deep penetration missions. But no stealth mission goes unguarded. Enter the F-16C Fighting Falcon, fast, agile, and lethal. This is the modern-day workhorse of NATO, versatile in every role from dogfights to deep strikes. The F-16C is the king of multi-role tactics. Radar locks, high-G missiles, and aggressive maneuvering make it one of the most feared aircraft in the game. Together, they form the perfect team. One, a ghost in the night. The other, a guardian with fire in its wings. In real life, the F-117 flew its first combat missions over Panama, then shattered enemy defenses in Desert Storm, flying deep into Baghdad under the cover of darkness, and always escorted by pilots ready to fight their way in and out. This is the new face of air power coming out from the Cold War. Stealth, speed, precision, control. Let's hear it for the F-117 Nighthawk and the F-16C Fighting Falcon, two icons of modern warfare flown here in Wings Over War Thunder with skill, respect, and reverence for the evolution of combat aviation. Now, from the decks of the U.S. Navy carriers to the digital skies of Wings Over War Thunder, two wings sweep forward, twin tails slice the sky, and the afterburners, you'll hear those for miles. Here come the legends, the beasts, the Tomcats. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the F-14 Tomcat in a dynamic duo performance that showcases one of the most famous fighters to ever take the skies. Born in the height of the Cold War, the F-14 was designed to own the oceans, protect the carrier groups, and challenge any threat in the air. With its variable swept wings, the Tomcat could adjust mid-flight, straight out for low speed control, and swept back for raw speed and agility. And those twin engines, they gave it the power that could outclimb and outrun nearly anything in the sky. The F-14 is a master of beyond visual range dominance. With the AIM-54 Phoenix missile, radar-guided AIM-7 Sparrows, and the iconic AIM-9 Sidewinders for close-in kills, this bird brings long-range and destruction and up-close dogfight and agility in one airframe. It was flown by Navy legends. It starred in a blockbuster film. It ruled the skies over oceans and conflict zones for over 3 decades. These two aircraft today are flown by elite digital pilots, just like the real Rios and stick jockeys who had to work in perfect sync at Mach 2. Whether launching off a carrier, hunting MiGs over the Gulf, or dominating the digital dogfights, the Tomcat is the Top Gun. Let's hear it loud for the F-14 Tomcat Duo, kings of the carrier, predators of the Cold War, and the legends in the sky at Wings Over War Thunder. From the cold north, where innovation meets efficiency, comes one of the most advanced, agile, and capable fighters in the world today. Sleek, fast, and lethal, this is the JAS39 Gripen. Sweden's premier multi-role fighter, and now it takes to the skies in its solo performance that blends modern technology with battlefield versatility. Developed by the Saab Aerospace, the JAS39 was designed to do it all: air-to-air, air-to-ground, reconnaissance, and even electronic warfare, all in a single platform. And don't let its size fool you. With its advanced fly-by-wire system and a high thrust-to-weight ratio and an integrated data fusion, the Gripen turns tighter, reacts faster, and strikes harder than many aircraft twice its size. The JAS39 is the pilot's scalpel, clean, precise, and deadly. It carries IRIS-TS, AIM-120 AMRAAMs, guided munitions, and a radar suite that puts it on par with any 4th generation fighter. It doesn't just survive, it dominates. This aircraft isn't just a fighter, it's a networked weapon system made to operate in modern contested environments. Whether flying with NATO allies, patrolling the Baltic skies, or deployed in the digital battlegrounds of War Thunder, the Gripen delivers. And did we mention it can take off and land from roads? That's right, Swedish air doctrine means this fighter is ready to operate anywhere, anytime. Agile, intelligent, fearless. The JAS39 Gripen is the future of lightweight multi-role power, and it's flown today by one of the best digital pilots in Wings Over War Thunder. Let's hear it for Sweden's supersonic sword, the Gripen. You have seen agility. You have seen stealth. Now prepare for absolute dominance. Born from the fires of the Cold War, designed with one purpose: to win and never lose. This is the McDonnell Douglas F15A Eagle. With a top speed of Mach 2.5, a climb rate of over 50,000 feet per minute, and a kill ratio of 104 to 0 in real-world combat. The F-15 doesn't just win the fight, it owns the sky. First flown in 1972, the F-15A was a revolution. Twin engines, twin tails, and a pulse Doppler radar that could see through the clouds and hit targets beyond visual range before the enemy even knew it was there. It set the standard. The Eagle is exactly what it is in real life. A high-altitude hunter, a supersonic missile truck, and a dogfighter with the agility that defies its size. The AIM-7, the AIM-9, and now, with newer variants of the F-15, the AMRAAM. This bird brings the full arsenal to the fight. And the best part? It's still flying. Upgraded, modernized, still feared around the world. Because the F-15 was never built to be second best. It was built to make sure our side comes home. Fast, fierce, and unmatched. This is the F-15A Eagle, the jet that proved the phrase, not a pound, for air to ground. Let's hear it for the king of the Cold War skies, still flying, still fighting, and still soaring through the skies at wings over war thunder. From the vast reaches of the Russian Federation, where power meets precision, where thrust meets grace, prepare for a final act of raw maneuverability and controlled chaos. This is a Sequoia Su-30, and it doesn't fly. It dances in the sky. This is no ordinary jet. With thrust vectoring, canards, and super maneuverability, the Su-30 can perform aerial stunts that seem to defy physics. The Cobra, the tail slide, the flat spin. These aren't tricks. These are combat maneuvers, and this jet was built to do them all. Powered by two afterburning AL-31F engines, the Su-30 isn't just a fighter, it's a multi-role master. Air superiority? Check. Ground strike? Absolutely. Beyond visual range engagement? Locked and loaded. It's every bit as fierce, armed with R-27s and R-73s, and more advanced ordnance. It's the apex predator of modern battles. Where others pull back, this jet pushes forward. Where others stall, this jet spins. And where others retreat, the Su-30 advances. It's a platform flown by Russia, India, China, and others, adapted to each need, but always with the same backbone, dominance through agility. This is the last word in this skybound journey. Twin engines, twin pilots, one purpose. To lose to the F-15, not with stealth, not with subtlety, but with raw, unrelenting presence. Give it up one more time for the Su-30 Duo, masters of maneuver, rulers of the modern sky, absent of the F-15, and a finale worth the name of Wings Over War Thunder. Across the generations, across continents, the roar of engines has echoed in the hearts of the bold. From cloth and wood biplanes to thundering jets that split the sky, these machines were more than metal. They were freedom, courage, and innovation. Every pass, every roll, every moment today was a tribute to the warriors who once flew and the dreamers who now carry their legacy forward in the digital skies. Because in Wings Over War Thunder, history isn't just remembered, it's relived. Every sortie is a salute, every maneuver is a memory in motion, and every pilot, no matter where they are from, is a part of a shared sky. So as the engines quiet and the smoke drifts away, know this: the sky has no borders, and in the heart of every pilot, the mission never ends. Thank you for joining us for this journey through courage, history, and honor. This has been Wings Over War Thunder.